Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Ample sunshine expected today with a high of 48. North winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 28 tonight, partly cloudy skies. High temperatures reach up to 52 tomorrow. Mainly cloudy Sunday with a high of 57, 46 Monday. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently 34.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. The investigation on the plane crash that happened from Wichita, Kansas to Washington, D.C. is ongoing after U.S. Senator Jerry Moran says that he's working as the vice chair of the Senate Commerce Subcommittee on Aviation and says that he makes it very personal to figure out what happened, having taken that flight from Wichita to Washington, D.C. many times.
I know that flight. I've flown it many times myself. I lobbied American Airlines to begin having a direct nonstop flight service to DCA. That flight has been in existence about a year. And it is certainly true that in Kansas and in Wichita in particular, we're going to know people who are on this flight, know their family members, know somebody. So this is a very personal circumstance as well as an official response.
The investigation on the cause is still ongoing. Mid-America Network News.
Multi-platinum hitmaker Justin Moore is coming to Newkirk. And Seven Clans First Council Casino Hotel and Resort. Friday, March 7th, Justin Moore. In concert in an all-ages show. Get your tickets for Justin Moore now at the Players Club or 7plans.com. Justin Moore, Friday, March 7th at Seven Clans First Council Casino and Resort, Newkirk, North Highway 77.
It's cold outside, but spring mowing season will be here soon. Now is the time to bring your Husqvarna mower to Maximum Outdoor for the Husqvarna Winter Service Special. Save 15% off winter service labor or 50% off pickup and delivery within a 25-mile radius now through February. Avoid the spring service crunch and save money with the Husqvarna Winter Service Special. South of 21st and Andover Road or west location south of Kellogg on West Street. Or visit MaximumOutdoor.com.
The Kansas State Department of Education has officially announced the recipients of the 2025 Kansas Horizon Award that does recognize outstanding teaching skills of new educators within the state. As WIBW reports that 32 different educators have been chosen for the award this year and will be honored at the special ceremony during the Kansas Exemplary Educators Network State Education Conference that's set for February 21st in Topeka, Kansas. As they say, the Kansas Horizon program that is sponsored by the Department of Education allows school districts in the state to nominate one elementary and one secondary teacher for the award. After the announcement of the recipients for the 2025 Kansas Horizon Award, they have been notified by their selection by the Kansas Commissioner of Education, Randy Watson. And the State Education Conference that is set for February 21st is open to the public to attend. In total, there are 8 different recipients that come from all 4 regions of education within the state. Kansas Mid-America Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier.
Tires aren't all the same, and neither are tire dealers. Find a dealer like Mike's OK Tire who carries Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. BF Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Next time you need tires, don't deal with amateurs. See the tire experts. See Mike's OK Tire in downtown Marysville for tires, repair, alignment, and service.
Nebraska Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. Well, the city of Grand Island, Nebraska has announced that they are planning their Grand Island Area Metropolitan Planning Organization with a new public visionary workshop that will be planned for February 6th coming up to present their upcoming 2050 long-range transportation plan for the community.
The 2050 long-range transportation plan is a 25-year plan that will guide the transportation system decision-making for the Grand Island area. And it will provide also a list of projects that hopefully strive to meet the future regional transportation needs for the region. This transportation plan, we are federally required to do every 5 years.
That audio from KSNB at Local Channel 4, where they say it is a 25-year plan that will guide the transportation system decision-making for the Grand Island area as the population continues to grow, looking further into the future. That unveiling and public hearing is set for February 6th. Mid-America Network News.
Enroll in Farm Bureau Financial Services Driveology, and you'll instantly save 10% on your auto insurance premium. Over time, your safe driving habits could earn you even bigger savings, up to 50%. Learn more and start saving with Driveology at fbfs.com/save. 10% savings applied at enrollment for select coverages. Future savings based on individual driving behaviors and varies by coverages selected. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Reporting local news, I'm Bruce Dierking. A fire overnight in Beatrice was reported at 523 North 5th, apparently beginning in the basement of a two-story brick residence. No injuries reported. The state fire marshal will investigate the cause. King and Queen of Courts at Valley Heights High School is planned this evening. Queen candidates Aubrey Emscheid, Faye Jones, and Madison Hankey. King candidates Caden Dummermuth, Jaden Dewalt, and Diston Denton. Crowning at halftime of the boys' game versus Republic County. Washington County, King and Queen of Courts is planned this evening. The public invited to a pep rally this afternoon at 2:50 in the gym. Queen candidates are Mackenzie Baker, Trista Cromie, Mackenzie Meyer. King candidates Anthony Garcia, Garrison Sand, and Billy Sponda. Crowning this evening in the games versus Frankfurt. Marshall County Arts Cooperative, largest fundraiser, set Friday and Saturday evenings, 7 p.m. at Venue 36 in Marysville. Local talent with a live band will be featured. Reserved seating is sold out. General admission tickets are $25 for adults, $15 for those 18 and younger. Can be purchased online at marshallcountyarts.org or phone 785-859-4260 or text. They're also available 10 to 2 at the 1 Marysville office. They will be available at the door as well Friday and Saturday evening, 7 p.m. at Venue 36 in Marysville. Annual Axtell Knights of Columbus consignment auction Saturday begins at 9:30 north of the Catholic Church in Axtell. For information, phone 785-736-2787. Nebraska Department of Transportation announces maintenance work next week on US 77 north of Beatrice. Armor coat and chip seal is planned on 15 miles from Gage into Lancaster counties. Work begins next week, weather permitting, running through August, with traffic maintained with lane closures along the route. Deadline to enter a bid for a silent auction for the annual Valentine Sylvia dinner at the Kester House Museum has been extended through Monday evening. Additional information is available by contacting the board members, Kim Hautz, Hiller, or Sharon Kessinger. Phone 562-8724 or 785-927-0523. An effort to spur economic vitality in all of Kansas, particularly in rural areas, is the initiative of K-State 105, a comprehensive initiative underway through Kansas State University. Jessica Nod is our public affairs guest this weekend and talks about the program and its potential impact locally. Join the conversation Saturday morning at 7:10 on KNDY. Merlin D. Mert Ott, age 94, of Marysville, passed away Monday. Private burial is planned at the Marysville City Cemetery with a visitation Friday, 4 until 8 p.m. Family will greet friends Friday from 5 until 7 at Kinsley Mortuary in Marysville, in charge of arrangements for Mert Ott. Mildred E. Bear, age 87, of Seneca, passed away Tuesday. Massive Christian burial Saturday, 10 a.m. at St. Peter and Paul's Catholic Church in Seneca. Burial of the church cemetery. Rosary Friday evening at 7 at the Lauer Funeral Home of Seneca, in charge of arrangements for Mildred Bear. Linda A. Copeland, age 87, of Riley, passed away Tuesday. Funeral service Monday, 11 a.m. at the Anders Fifley Funeral Home in Riley. Burial in the Riverside Cemetery at Waterville. Family will greet friends Sunday from 3 until 5 at the Anders Fifley Funeral Home, in charge of arrangements for Linda Copeland. Mary M. Gillette, age 81, of Marysville, passed away Thursday. Funeral arrangements pending with the Christy Anders Funeral Home of Waterville, in charge for Mary Gillette. On the Marshall County Senior Citizens lunch menu today, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, peas, and bananas in pudding. Monday's menu, chicken noodle soup, a biscuit, celery with carrots, and a tropical fruit. KNDY News Time is 7:13.
United Bank and Trust has been fulfilling the banking needs of families and businesses in Northeast Kansas for decades. United Bank and Trust is always advancing and is excited to introduce a new and improved mobile banking app for your smartphone. Simply search UBT Mobile in the App Store and download. It's a mobile-fast world, and so is United Bank and Trust, the bank for your future. United Bank and Trust, banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for Northeast Kansas and Southeast Nebraska. Mostly sunny skies today with our highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Northwest winds between 5 and 15 and gusting up to 25. Then clear skies overnight tonight with our lows in the upper 20s and lower 30s. Some sunshine as we head into Saturday with our highs in the mid to upper 40s. And mostly cloudy skies over Saturday night with our lows in the mid 20s and lower 30s. Mostly sunny skies throughout the day on Sunday with our highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s, then staying mostly cloudy throughout Sunday night with our lows in the lower to upper 20s. Mostly sunny skies throughout the day on Monday with our highs in the upper 30s and lower 40s, then partly cloudy skies throughout Monday night with our lows in the upper teens and lower 20s. Partly sunny skies throughout the day on Tuesday with our highs in the upper 30s and lower 40s, then mostly cloudy skies over Tuesday night with our lows in the upper teens and lower 20s. Staying cloudy as we head into Wednesday with our highs in the upper 30s and lower 40s, and mostly cloudy skies over Wednesday night with our lows in the mid-teens and lower 20s. And more sunshine throughout Thursday. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster.
Average high temperature late January, 41, record 82. The average low 19, the record low is 12 below zero. Sunrise this morning, 7:35. Sunset this evening at 5:47. Rain showers have tapered off, still lingering parts of mainly southeast Kansas, yet east central Kansas. We're at 34 degrees, cloudy overcast this morning. That's a check of the morning news and weather for this Friday, the 31st of January. KNDY News Time, 7:15. I'm Bruce Dierking reporting.
Need reliable tree trimming or removal? Look no further than Synergistic. Whether it's a small trim or a big removal, no job is too big or too small. Give Blake Gertler a call today for your free estimate at 785-268-0629. Synergistic, your trusted name in tree care.
Good morning, I'm Judson Richards. We are just over 2 weeks away from NBA's All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. The reserves have now been announced. Let's begin in the West. Victor Wembanyama was named to his first All-Star team, joined by Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Grizzlies' Jaren Jackson Jr., Rocket center Alperen Şengün, and finally Thunder forward Jalen Williams. As for the Eastern Conference, reserves include Celtics' Jaylen Brown, Pacers' Pascal Siakam, two players from the Cavs, Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, Pistons' Cade Cunningham, Bucks' Damian Lillard. That's Lillard's 9th All-Star appearance, and the Heat's Tyler Hero. Lakers and the Wizards in action in the nation's capital. Wizards marred in a 15-game losing skid. It was a game put so far out of reach by the fourth quarter that Dad LeBron got to enjoy watching son Bronny play the entire fourth quarter. So did the Wizards crowd.
Here comes Bronny back the other way for L.A. Bronny dribbles left. Bronny down the middle. Bronny to the rim. Foul and a bucket! The crowd is on its feet.
Oh, that's all they wanted to see.
Look at this place.
Now everybody can go home if they want to.
The call from 710 ESPN LA, a standing ovation from the visiting crowd. LeBron with a fist pump on the bench. Lakers dominate the Wizards 134-96. Bronny played the entire fourth quarter and scored a career-high 5 points. Unusual betting patterns surrounded the play of then Charlotte Hornets guard Terry Rozier in a game nearly 2 years ago, and that's now being investigated by federal prosecutors, part of the same probe that led to the lifetime ban of Toronto Raptors player Jonte Porter. The Wall Street Journal first reported the investigation, noting that Rozier, who played for the Hornets at the time and now plays for the Miami Heat, has neither been charged with a crime nor has he been accused of any wrongdoing.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Thursday night basketball tip-offs in the Hiawatha Girls Invitational. The host Lady Redhawks beat Marysville 60-47. Lafayette held off Troy 54-38, while St. Mary's took Jackson Heights 52-25. Final rounds on Saturday with 3 games set. Marysville in the opener will face Jackson Heights 10 a.m. We'll have the broadcast on AM 1570 FM 94.1. Marysville Wrestlers lost to North Central Kansas League duel in boys and girls action Thursday. Clay Center boys win 60-23. Wins for Marysville's Bussman, Waters, and Cromie. Wetter was open. Losses for Hirschlag, Landau, Lynch, Roth, Height, Bush, and Becker. Marysville girls fall 51-5. Hubbard with the win. Losses for Cromie, Schoonmaker, Sevilla, Brashears, Throm, Hidalgo, Martin, and Johnson. Friday night basketball tips include our Friday feature game. Hanover entertains Centralia, live on KNDY FM 95.5. Valley Heights is host to Republic County. Frankfort tips off at Washington County. Axtell will host Nebraska City Lords. Diller Odell home to Superior, and Southern is host to Johnson Brock. Saturday tip, Lynn at Pawnee City.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. The major stock indexes briefly fell during the day Thursday when President Trump talked again about putting tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. But by the closing bell, the Dow was up 169 points at 44,882. The S&P gained 0.5% on the day, the NASDAQ composite 0.25%. Samsung Electronics is warning shareholders of a slowdown in its chip business. The South Korean tech giant posted better than expected fourth quarter revenue, but its operating profit missed expectations. Shares in Vertex Pharmaceuticals soared 8% in after-hours trading after the FDA approved its non-opioid pain relief medication that comes without the risk of addiction. Jurnavix will have a list price of $15.50 per 50-milligram pill. Meta is ready to pounce on TikTok's uncertainty, hinting at a feature on Instagram Reels that allows users to start and stop videos with just one tap. Meta is testing the pause function among a small group of its users. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm Andy Hoosier. It's time again for the latest Larry Steckline report.
Brooke Collins, President Trump's nominee for Ag Secretary, fared well when she was confronted by the folks on the House and the Senate in her confirmation hearing in the last few days. In her opening statement, she pretty much expressed what she believes. Rapid deployment of disaster and economic assistance authorized by Congress, addressing current animal disease outbreaks, monitoring and realigning USDA. That'll be interesting. Ensuring long-term prosperity for rural communities. That'll be interesting. She clarified her stance on something that was probably the only negative or major negative point that anybody could bring up in that hearing, and that was her stand on ethanol. She tried to clarify her stance on ethanol and RFS, distancing herself from past positions of the Texas Public Policy Foundation. It looks like she stated the foundation's position on ethanol and RFS was written a decade ago, was one of 900 to 1,000 papers produced annually. She emphasized she didn't author those papers. While admitted to being a defender of fossil fuels, she insisted she'd be a secretary for all of agriculture and a champion of all fuels. So We'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. I don't think that's going to be an earth-shaking thing for her, answering in that fashion. When asked again on that biofuel policy, she said, everyone knows where the president is on this. Well, that says a lot right there in its own.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network.
Like everything around us, agriculture and rural living is changing. Kansas Farm Bureau's Farm Weekend brings you the stories, the voices, and the passion of farm families living and adapting to these changes. Farm Weekend on KNDY, Farm and Home Information Radio, a service of the Marshall County Farm Bureau Association.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Jacob Clout. Wanting to learn the latest on cotton? The annual Great Plains Cotton Conference will be held in early February to educate producers on novel practices and information within the industry. K-State Extension agronomist Logan Simon shares general event details.
Our sixth annual Great Plains Cotton Conference is to be held on February 7th at the Sedgwick County Extension Complex at 7001 West 21st Street in Wichita. We'll be beginning, registration begins at 7:30, speakers at 8, and will conclude at 4. Lunch provided. No registration requirement. All are welcome. So feel free to come and join us. So there will be no financial limitation to your access to cotton information and knowledge.
He discusses some of the speakers on the schedule for the conference.
We have a really strong lineup again this year, including some talks from Taz Smith with the National Cotton Council, talking about some policy updates and the Cotton Trust Protocol, as well as John Wanjura of the USDA ARS in Lubbock, talking about some harvest practices and maximizing the value of that cotton. And I'll also be speaking in the morning to provide some updates on some agronomic management considerations for our Kansas cotton producers.
Simon explains what kind of person should consider attending this event.
Honestly, this conference is meant for a really wide audience. Whether you are a producer who has been at the forefront, one of the first cotton producers in Kansas, or if you're just playing around with the idea, the potential for cotton on your operation, this is a fantastic opportunity to come out and learn about the industry and especially get that very Kansas-focused information. Great opportunity for any crop consultants as well who might be working in cotton and wanting to get a little bit more familiar with the crop as they're working to support their producers. I do believe that we will have some credits associated with this. We usually do have credits associated with this conference, including both CCA credits as well as pesticide applicator credits as well. So that can also be a good draw for some of our producers and our consultants and applicators.
That was Logan Simon, K-State Extension agronomist, on the 6th Annual Great Plains Cotton Conference happening February 7th in Wichita. I'm Jacob Clout. This has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
Are you seeking that dream recreational property or thinking of selling your farm or ranch? I'm Aaron Bauman with Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, and I serve both Nebraska and Kansas. Whether you're buying or selling, I am here to help guide you through the sales process. For information or a consultation, give me a call at 402-984-1690. That's Aaron at 402-984-1690 with Hayden Outdoors, the brand that sells the land.
Now that January is at an end, we can start pursuing seed catalogs a bit more seriously. A little advice today for downsizing gardeners from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
If you're a farmer or rancher, chances are you've thought about joining Kansas Farm Bureau. So what's stopping you? Your membership means you have a seat at the table when it comes to the issues that affect your farm. Things like trade, taxes, water, and regulations. The state's largest farm advocacy organization brings your message to policy decision makers at the county, state, and national level. The voice of agriculture becomes your voice and fights for Kansas farmers and ranchers. And a Kansas Farm Bureau membership includes other benefits. For about $50 a year, you'll receive discounts on equipment and supplies, cell phone plans, financial and legal support, home and office supplies, and more. You'll also receive Kansas Living, a quarterly lifestyle magazine featuring real stories of farmers and producers around the state, plus great recipes, crafts, and things to see and do in Kansas. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/farmerrancher to learn more.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Friday, January 31st, the 31st day of the year. Baseball legend Jackie Robinson was born on this day, and the trademark Coca-Cola was registered in 1893. It won't be long before sketching out a garden plan is more than just cabin fever therapy. We've been researching all the varieties of baby vegetables we're anxious to try. The Micro-Tom tomato yields an almost endless supply of marble-sized fruit, and the plant is small enough to grow in a windowsill. Fingerling salad potatoes are delicious, boiled or fried, and they're only an inch in diameter. Almost any vegetable from sweet corn to watermelon comes in a pint-sized variety. They're fun to grow and serve, and best of all, they come with full-size flavor. That is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Find more online at almanac.com.
7:29 from KNDY. Fog and some rain overnight. That is mostly diminished at this hour. That activity of precipitation, east central, southeast Kansas now at this hour. 34 degrees, this morning's temperature. Highs approach 50 here today, then around 50 Saturday, approaching 60 by Sunday. An early taste of spring.
Mid-American Network Sports, I'm Doug Downs. We now know how many members of the figure skating community were passengers on the American Airlines jet that left Wichita headed to D.C. that crashed. 14 members lost their lives the other night in the collision. There is still no word on what caused the collision. Investigation is still underway. The Super Bowl is still more than a week away. Yesterday in the press conference, Patrick Mahomes was asked about the legacy that he will leave as a Kansas City Chief.
I think you always want to leave a legacy and kind of make your imprint on history. But more than anything, you just want to accomplish a goal that you have with your teammates. When you started saying, Joe, your goal is to win the Super Bowl, we know it's a hard process. We know it's a hard week in and week out. But I'm proud of how our guys have kind of went about that process.
The Chiefs remain a 1.5-point favorite in the Super Bowl.
Marysville Lady Bulldogs' second disappointing performance in the Hiawatha Invitational Thursday. Led Hiawatha by 4 points at the half, but the Redhawks outscored Marysville 20-7 in the third, 19-14 down the stretch, largely on the strength of 15 of 18 free throws in the fourth quarter alone, as 3 Marysville starters fouled out. Marysville had jumped to an 18-9 first quarter lead, again took the first half, but the second half was all Redhawks. Rolling to a win, led by sophomore Kylie Nelson with 24 points. Addison Williams, 8 of 8 free throws down the stretch, finished with 12, and Aaliyah Contreras adding 10. Marysville was paced by Lindsey Dressman, who fouled out with about 5 minutes left. She had 12 points. Dahlia Fry off the bench with 12 as well on 4 trays. Casey Rush in double figures with 10. Marysville with the loss falling to 4 and 7. Hiawatha 60, Marysville 47. Lady Bulldogs are back for a 10 a.m. tip with Jackson Heights Saturday. We'll have it live on KNDY.
Thursday night basketball tip-offs in the Hiawatha Girls Invitational. The host Lady Redhawks beat Marysville 60-47. Lafayette held off Troy 54-38. While St. Mary's took Jackson Heights 52-25. Final rounds on Saturday with 3 games set. Marysville in the opener will face Jackson Heights at 10 a.m. We'll have the broadcast on AM 1570 FM 94.1. Marysville Wrestlers lost to North Central Kansas League duel in boys and girls action Thursday. Clay Center boys win 60-23. Wins for Marysville's Bussman, Waters, and Cromie. Wetter was open. Losses for Hirschlag, Landau, Lynch, Roth, Height, Bush, and Becker. Marysville girls fall 51-5. Hubbard with the win. Losses for Cromie, Shoemaker, Sevilla, Brashears, Throm, Hidalgo, Martin, and Johnson. Friday night basketball tips include our Friday feature game. Hanover entertains Centralia, live on KNDY FM 95.5. Valley Heights is host to Republic County. Frankfort tips off at Washington County. Axtell will host Nebraska City Lords. Diller Odell home to Superior, and Southern is host to Johnson Brock. Saturday tip, Leon at Pawnee City.
KNDY.